Don't doubt the flow. Watch us drop, we bout to blow. IP, Hub City G, CEO, crazy me. Young Hawk since 83. Not a hot boy, a block boy like Baby C. Not a hot boy, a block boy like Baby C.
I'll say this. A lot of people have a perception of what child support is, right? And I think we have a documentary coming out, the Child Support is Fraud documentary, based on true stories, okay, based on true facts. You know, glamour and Hollywood stuff, you know what I mean? And every case is unique to its own. Okay, that's how bad it is, that each case is different. How is that possible? When you have an entity called DMV, there's a process to get a license and that's it. It stays the same. It's just a process. Everybody comes in there, they gotta pay for their tags. They gotta get their license released. They gotta do something, right? It's the same 4 steps every single time. But in child support, everybody case is different. They have so many things.
But the laws are the same.
The laws are the same, but their process to obtain, information on you to F over your life, destroy your life, is all different. So, for you, I would say for you, the way that they treated you, the way that you was tied into this Charlotte's web, this thing that you couldn't get yourself out of, and you was in this shit for a long time, destroyed you mentally and physically, and we don't realize how we take things for granted, like having a driver's license and be able to move around and get your passport and be able to do things like that and be able to get a job without somebody's taking your money, be able to just live your life. You don't understand, that destroys your economics, your you. It destroys you, bro.
You can't even get a decent job with child support because you got this alleged debt of $30,000, $40,000, $12,000 on your credit.
On your credit, oh man.
Why is this on my credit?
So I would say what we want to talk about is what people think child support is and what it's not. They're not who they say they are, people.
No.
They're not who they say they are. No, and you're not listening to 2 brothers sitting over here that just have disgruntled baby mothers, or we feel a certain type of way emotionally about the women that we had children with. No, that was in our younger day, okay? Shit, when we didn't have this, okay? We acting on impulse and emotions, okay? But we fast forward, we learned that this system is built to destroy you. And on the very own document that you sign, it tells you, plain English or Spanish or whatever language you want that document in, there's consequences by signing this document. Why would you think about if I told you, if you come in my store to buy a t-shirt, but there's consequences if you buy this t-shirt, what would you do? What you consequences to buy this t-shirt?
Yeah, and I advise you to seek legal attorney when you sign in this document.
What would happen?
Why do I need to seek legal anything? I'm just coming to buy a t-shirt. I'm just having a baby. What do you mean?
Right, I was just having a child. I mean, isn't that like the best thing in our lives to do? And yeah, but because they have bad practices, they push these contracts on you unknowingly in your most vulnerable moment in life, which is having a child sitting in the hospital. Emotions is at the all-time high. You're worrying about the mother just had the baby, making sure she's she's fine and she's healthy, and then you got this newborn baby all in the room, and then there's just a whole bunch of people coming in and coming out, and then you gotta relax, and you're calling your friends and you're calling your family up to come see the baby, and oh, congratulations, let me get a picture, and then after that day is over, that's one day.
Right.
That's one day, and the mom is so exhausted. She's in the room sleeping. The baby's in the other little thing, and then here comes jolly old person come walking in. Go ahead and sign these papers. Oh yeah, it's a birth certificate. Yeah. They might point something out. Sign here, sign there, and you just it's gonna have the baby's last name. It's gonna move, and I'm happy.
You're not even reading it. They're telling you what it says. Oh yeah, this right here means such and such, such. So you just go in there and sign that. So this paragraph here, yeah, that just means such and such, such, such. Okay. Yeah, then to flip it over, yeah, that just, okay, we just need just initial and signature there, and all right.
That's it, bro. That's it.
But what was in closing,
Yeah.
and how to tie what you just said in regards to these entities that purposely try to hinder us, to destroy you. And it placing an ad on this very child support commercial that we got running right now. The analytics that came back, I let them, when I say them, I let Instagram and Facebook choose who this video would go to based on its content, based on the text inside of this ad. The algorithm, it did what it did and said, okay, the people who this video would be perfect for, when the analytics came back, guess where it was? Los Angeles, Atlanta, Houston, New Orleans, Detroit. What do these cities all have in common?
Man, tell them.
These are all urban, undeveloped areas. So based on Facebook's, because Facebook owns Instagram, based on Facebook's algorithm, based on the information that this video contained, the text and everything, it would be perfect for the people in these cities. When I seen it, I just looked at it like that just ties it into
Purposely is the point.
Yeah, like it's that whole system is for everybody, but where it's purposely targeted is towards Black and brown individuals in underdeveloped areas.
Destroying these men lives. And even because and I'm gonna close it out on this topic, because you can go ahead and go over to the child support is fraud.com page, and you can this channel here, the Tangible Equity Show, you know, there's a platform for all topics and that
all things tangible,
all things that's very tangible that you can utilize
to create equity.
So my thing is that a lot of people think that people that's on child support are deadbeat fathers. Okay, that can be far from the truth, guys. That can be far from the actual facts. I have the men that I call my brothers, my family, they all have children.
I don't even know what you're about to say, but I can tell you, I told somebody this today.
They all have their children. When we've been knowing, I had kids since almost after high school. They've still been around their children. So I'm just trying to find those incompetent, deadbeat children
that they talk about.
That they're talking about. Now, you have them, but do you have them on child support?
Bro, what's today? Today is, I guarantee you, what he just said, I didn't know he was gonna say this, but if you go back and go on Child Support is Fraud Facebook page, today, this morning, I just told somebody exactly what he just said. The exact same thing. Who are these people? My friends. I've been knowing these people over 20, 30 years. We all take care of our kids. Where are these people that you talk about? My friends and my family, we all take care of our kids.
I would say this, to piggyback what you said. And we Black. That narrative that black men don't take care of their children, that had to come from some bitter ass person, right? And they ran with that shit because there's no excuse for the niggas the men that don't take and step up. Okay, I mean, we're not talking about those fools, because you have those, just like you have those women that go to jail and they got children and shit like this. They doing dumb shit. But we don't talk about those women. But the men get a bad rep because it's an easy go-to thing. But my whole thing is this. My whole thing is like decades of this stuff, right? Decades. And now that I'm a dad and I'm a father, I understand what my father probably went through. You know what I'm saying? Just in his lifestyle, in his lifetime. So, you know, my whole thing is we have to change the narrative about deadbeat daddies or, you know, fathers or whatnot that's not in their children's lives. There's always going to be circumstances surrounding those decisions, and if we're not talking about those decisions and those circumstances, then it's not fair to just say you're just supposed to be there and do this. We don't even know this. We don't know the situation. We don't know. We have no clue of what happened. What happened if this woman put, you know, who knows? I'm just saying, like, we don't even know. So I think it's best for us to understand the circumstances, understand these types of things before we start judging. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know, but just to kind of go back to the child support is fraud.com. The documentary, you know, will be out. We'll elaborate on it and let people know it's not a game. It's not a game. And on this channel, we will elaborate more in depth on how to use certain strategies to relieve yourself from this entity. To look, you know, jail, prison, right? People are like, oh, prison. Okay, prison should only house evil people. That's my thing. But we know that's not the truth. You know, it's people sitting behind jail right now, bro, that didn't even fucking do nothing. Absolutely had nothing to do with nothing, and they're sitting in there 5 years, 3 years, a year, 6 months, 6 years, 10, 15 years. We hear these stories all the time of these men that's been in prison their whole adult life and did not commit the crime. Child support don't give a shit if this wasn't your baby, was your baby, we don't know. They give a fuck about, at the end of the day, what?
Me?
Right.
They don't give a fuck about none of that.
They don't give a fuck about none of that. So how fair is that when they don't even give a shit? You have to defend yourself through a fucking so-called hearing process, bro. You know what I'm saying? You guilty, period, point blank, it's over. Look, that's considered, I'm gonna say it, that's considered aggravated fraud, identity fraud, aggravated identity fraud, okay? By them doing that. And the laws don't change, okay? Or I should say, most of the laws that we have stays the same for the most part. So my thing is this: we learn different strategies, we learn different, you know, I say it's many methods, but very few principles. Once we understand these principles, we can apply the method to relieve us from these encumbrance entities that's here to commit harm to you. So with that said, you know, tune in, stay tuned in, subscribe, like and subscribe to this channel. We're going to bring more information, you know, to the people. And, you know, and not only the information, this is information that we utilize, we use ourselves. So this is not some third party, fourth party, whatever information. We applied this information to ourselves, you know, because we tried everything else. So this is firsthand knowledge. This is firsthand information. This is firsthand experience. So when we tell you, we're not coming from an angry space. We're not coming from an emotional space. We're not coming from a space that we just hate the baby mother. No, we was ignorant in that particular space. We're coming from experience and let you know that they don't care. They don't even look. I want to save it for the next show. So the next show we will get in depth on the childsupportersfried.com documentary, and we will elaborate on some remedy for you guys. So like and subscribe. If you felt like you got value from this whole conversation, from this channel, from this video, go ahead and share it with your people. Go ahead and subscribe. And we appreciate you guys for basically going to be this. We appreciate you guys first and foremost from tuning in and listening and hearing two brothers speak their mind. And hopefully, once again, you found value in what we're saying. So with that being said, I'm gonna let TJ Santana close out. You know, it's tangible equity. TMac Johnson. You can, if you click below on the link of the video, you'll see all the links to find us, basically, from our Instagram to our Facebook to our actual websites. So that being said, peace.
I just want to point out the fact that you just called me TJ Santana. That's a whole nother story. Hey, if you know the history, you know the history. But yeah, so closing out, man. I'm TJ with the Scar, man.
TJ with the Scar, baby.
This is TMac Johnson. This is the Tangible Equity Show. Next episode, we like you said, we going in. We finna dig in this child support bag, and we get into it.
Definitely.
Subscribe. Visit tangible-equity.com. Tangible-equity.com. Once again, TJ with the Scar.
TMac Johnson, baby. Peace and love, man.
Coronavirus!
Don't doubt the flow. Watch us drop, we bout to blow. IP, Hub City G, CEO, crazy me, Young Hawk since '83.